Peter Paraone.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker, tēnā no tātou I roto te whare. Mea tūtahi māku e mihi ki a koe e te tuakana e Calvin, nau I hakaritenga I a tātou noho I te ata nei, kia māmata haere o tēnei pire, mo te iwi o Ngāruahine. Tuatu tēnā koutou ngā kanohi mai Ngāruahine, koutou mai te maru o Taranaki. Kei te tautoko ngā mihi ngea aku tuakana I te hakatau I a koutou I roto tā koutou whare e te rāna. Nā reira tēnā koutou. Mihi hoki ki tēnā o ngā mate maha I hakahuangia e tahi I roto I a mātou o te tai tōkerau kei te tūhonohono ki tēnā o ngā mate ke wāngunui a koutou e te rāna. Nā reira ai ki te kōrero, nā rātou te pō, ka hoki mai ki a tātou, ko tātou te ata. Nā reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. Mr. Speaker, I take some delight in participating in this debate, particularly in terms of seeing another treaty settlement or another treaty claim settlement come before the House on its way to being enacted and therefore allowing the claimants to leave this House knowing that what they have essentially asked for has been resolved. Not entirely, but certainly resolved to a great extent. And in this case, we're talking about the claim from the Ngāruahine Claim Settlement Bill. Mr. Speaker, I sat on the Maori Affairs Select Committee where we heard a number of submissions, and can I say that I certainly support that process because it allows for those who don't necessarily agree with the terms of settlement that have been reached, but it allows them to certainly air their concerns and for us as politicians to hear and to consider. First of all, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that this bill is one of a number that addresses some of the, in my view, serious breaches of the treaty in the history of our country, particularly in terms of the loss of life, displacement of a people, and the results of all of that. And it's articulated in the bill as to what happened, and we all know that before 1860, 20 years after the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi, this iwi was one of the most prosperous and economically successful iwi in the region, and some would probably say in New Zealand at the time, but I'm from the north, so I'd probably have a different view in that respect. However, the fact that there's no question about the economic position of Ngāruahine at the time. And so the invasion of Crown troops has led to this claim being made before the Waitangi Tribunal, and we all know what the history about that is involved. Mr. Speaker, the Maori Affairs report makes reference to the Aro Kuku issue, and again, like my colleague Calvin Davis, who am I to question the position that Aro Kuku has taken, and given the whakapapa links between that hapu or iwi to that of the claimant group today is something that will always be an issue for us as Māori who both have a concern about claims, who don't agree with the claims, but at least we have been assured that anyone from Aro Kuku who descends from their tupuna are able to benefit from this particular claim. Some members of Aro Kuku did not support that decision, however, and they campaigned for a discrete settlement for their iwi hapu, whatever we might want to to describe them as, but they wanted their own autonomy, their own rangatiratanga. Some members disagree with the exclusion of Arautuku from the list of hapu in the Ngāruahine claimant definition. Crown has previously stated that Arautuku's settlement alignment was for the hapu to resolve. And to a certain extent, I agree with that, only so far as long as the Crown has not been responsible for that position. And some would argue that it has. Sir, the Select Committee has been assured by Ngāruahine that Arautuku individuals with Ngāruahine whakapapa are able to benefit from the Ngāruahine settlement. Settlement process does not allow for the committee to address the concerns of Arautuku satisfactorily. And I, in this part of this debate, certainly support that notion. The other issue that was raised was in regards to the Stratford Power Station. The land was confiscated during the 1860s, awarded to Arautuku after the Raupatu as part of a reserve, but subsequently became privately owned. As Crown will not give privately owned land, the committee would like to have the Crown produce public statements to accompany the settlement bill. And the Minister has assured this House that he will certainly do that. I just want to make some comments, Mr. Speaker, about the submissions. A large proportion of those who submitted certainly supported the bill. And in regards to the Kanihi Hapu, and I quote from their submission, throughout the entire treaty settlement process, every effort was made by the Ngā Hapu Board and the negotiators to ensure that everyone, regardless of whether they were registered members of Ngā Hapu or otherwise, were kept informed by way of various mediums, examples, pānui, hui, website, email, etc. So that, Mr. Speaker, confirms that every effort was made to inform the beneficiaries of this claim. However, there are some of the issues that were raised by the submitters, and I want to mention them because one or two of them do have, for me, have some validity. In the Ngāti Tūhapu, they did not support the Ngāruahine mandated collective, Ngā Hapu o Ngāruahine, and subsequently do not support the negotiated settlement. They believe the settlement suffers from the same issues identified with my people from the Tai Tokerau, Ngā Puhi, and the issue of the Tūhoronuku iwi mandated authority. The other submitter was the Democracy Action Submission, and they quite clearly stated that they opposed clauses 85 and 86 relating to cultural redress and iwi representation on council committee. Mr. Speaker, this clause is something that gets imposed on the people of that local body area who have been denied the right to elect who should be sitting on their council committees. And that is a concern that has been expressed not only in terms of this claim, but as a subsequent of other claims that have already been settled. And I think that the argument that Māori are just as good as anyone else to stand for election, I believe has some validity. And I think that we are, in fact, as Māori, just as good as our fellow citizens, and we should be putting ourselves forward to stand for those positions. However, that raises another issue, and I'm not quite sure whether ultimately it will lead to another claim against the Crown, that people have been denied the opportunity of having their own wards so that they can stand for council. But, Mr. Speaker, this bill does meet the intention of both the iwi and the Crown. And on behalf of New Zealand First, we commend this bill to the House.